This podcast contains potentially adult language, adult themes, definitely drinking, and possibly sexual context. Listener discretion is advised.
Drinking with Authors, the Literary Briefs edition. I'm your host, Erica Lance. My co-host today is the infallible C.R. Rice. Do you like that? That's your new title, Infallible.
I do. I like it. I'm going to put it on my business card.
No, you're not. So our guest today is Marie Wishert. Woo! Okay, we're talking about what we're drinking. I had to switch because I'm just going to go over again that I'm out of my blueberry cinnamon cordial. But I did find some Sweet 45 cherry cordial.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. Super fancy. Added it to my Drinking with Authors cup like a boss. Okay.
With the crushed ice? Are we still being fancy?
What?
Your
Crushed ice. Yeah, of course I'm being fancy. There's crushed ice in this Airbnb I'm staying at. I don't have crushed ice at home. I just have regular ice, which, what am I? You know, poor? No, just kidding. Chelsea, what are you drinking?
I am drinking my green tea and vodka in my staying healthy for at least a little bit.
That's okay. You're faking it. Faking it till you make it. I love this green tea. You should literally put out this beverage with your label on it so nobody can steal it, right?
Copyright
it. Kardashians can have it. You can have it. Okay. Marie, talk to us about what you're drinking since I know you're switching beverages. So go for it.
I'm still drinking this too. I have the Papago Orange Blossom. It is a beer from Huss Brewing Company in Tempe, Arizona. I am currently in the Arizona-ish region. And whenever I come, I can't get enough of this. They crushed it with this beer. I love it.
Well, see, if you're in San Diego, you should be able to drive right over, fill your car up, drive it back with that stuff. I'm just saying, it's not that far of a road trip.
It's not about it. Yep, I do it a lot. Yep.
I'm just saying, load it up. Okay, this is the Literary Briefs edition. Oh, did I say Skunk Brothers Spirits? Did I say that? No, I didn't, because I was drinking Skunk Brothers Spirits, so that's why I didn't remember to say that. Don't forget Skunk Brothers Spirits. They are you can get a coupon code from DWA10. I know it's terrible, 10% off. I should have a script. It's fine. Moving on. Rapid fire questions. It's okay. They know. They've listened to the show. It's fine. So the first question is, what is your favorite book of all time?
Wild by Cheryl Strayed.
Why?
I love her abandon. I love the passion with which she writes. She's got balls. She says whatever is on her mind. She makes being human and being flawed a beautiful thing.
Wonderful. What is your least favorite book of all time?
50 Shades of Grey.
Oh, thank you. Hallelujah. High five.
That was, I don't even understand how that happened.
It's not even realistic.
I can actually explain it. I've explained it on this podcast before, but
if it was a dude in a trailer park, it would be kidnapping. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's true. Very true.
Yes.
How it happened actually is she wrote fan fiction on a Twilight website and then put on that same website where there's 8 zillion Twilight fans, because that's what that started off being, that she was writing a book. So when she got 3,000 pre-orders for her book when she was talking about writing it. So of course, publishing companies went, what the fuck is that got 3,000 pre-orders? By the time she was done, she had 10,000 pre-orders for that book. So of course it hit the top of the things the moment it was released everywhere. It's terrible. God. It's poorly written and it's badly edited and it's a terrible story. And yeah, that's what I say about that. Okay, Chelsea.
All right. So she always does the book questions. I do the random ones. If you found $1 million in the middle of nowhere, there was nobody else around, what would you do with it?
I would buy a house.
Where are you hiding? That's fantastic. This isn't an ethical question.
Wait, she was talking about.
I'm not saying you had to rob somebody.
And breaking out of her shell. Where are you going to buy this house?
I am going to buy it overlooking the Penasquitos Canyon off Sorrento Valley Boulevard in Mira Mesa.
That is very specific.
This
Very
is, yeah, I was about to say, you've clearly thought about this. Maybe you would rob somebody.
It's entirely possible. Okay. Wow, my brain just completely shut off today. That's terrible. As a writer, what is your pet peeve? What do you do that your editor is always like, stop doing this?
Oh my gosh. Okay. I use some of the same words too much. I used to say adorable a lot. And that, I think I used the word that a little bit too much. I used to actually swear too much, like those kinds of things.
It's
There's no
impossible
such
to
thing.
swear too much. Yeah,
It's,
I was gonna say.
that's a matter of
Thank you,
opinion.
editor. No, but adorable, I think that's funny that you used adorable too much. You're too adorable. But too adorable. Chelsea,
It's like,
you.
use
My
find
brain is-
replace, find all of the adorables and fix it. Like get another word. And I was told, like find replace adorable.
and you're like snuggly, cuddly,
Right?
cute,
Squishy.
skishy.
Yeah, that's what I call Corey all the time.
Too much information, Chelsea. Too much information.
What can I
So,
say?
have you thought about writing other genres?
Oh yeah. So I also am like, I do poetry on the aside. So I also would love to write like poetic, like rhythmic children's books, which Dr. Seuss is one of my heroes. So I actually have a little story called Carl the Snarl about a snarl named Carl. And that's like one of my passion projects that I would love to see to fruition someday. I need a person who draws beautiful things. I haven't found them yet. So that is another.
Very easy. Go to nerd conventions.
Oh, they're here all over the place. I
Yes,
gotta go
they
do
are.
that.
Go to nerd.
You guys
conventions.
actually have a huge one coming up in April.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I will
you
start
go to
looking.
nerd conventions and you'll find artists and just look for the style you want and then tell them what you want to do. You'd be amazed how many of them are like, sure.
Okay.
The other place you can find them is on Tumblr. You
Oh,
can also find a lot of porn on Tumblr, but you can
I was
find
gonna say, isn't that a really skeezy site?
I'm
it
not
is-
on Tumblr.
Yes,
But I'll be
well,
like, I
Tumblr
need to
has a
do
lot
it
of
for my
artists.
work.
Yeah. Tumblr has a lot of artists. They do have a lot of sex stuff too, but a lot of like unknown artists go on there and you subscribe to the Tumblrs and you know, the tumbles, the tumbling. I'm just making up words now. But anyway, there are a lot of artists on Tumblr, for instance,
Okay.
that you can
I will
find.
check it
that do
out.
that. Yeah. Just be careful what you search for. That's all I'm gonna say about Tumblr.
No word is safe. Like, I don't know anymore. It's
Oh, you'll discover a whole new paths of things that you were like, that's a thing. Yep, that's a thing.
If you have to ask the question, is that a thing? It's already a thing.
You know, one of the podcasts I thought of doing before I started getting drunk with authors was literally going to be called "Is That a Thing?" To go over the stuff
Oh.
that people are always surprised that it's a thing. You know.
I like it.
I think
It
we should
needs-
still
yeah.
do it. Side note.
That's
We'll do a side note. We'll do a
conversation
side
forever.
note.
You
Yes.
can never ever go dry with that.
No, I wouldn't. I mean, I thought about it because it actually started from watching a television show on I think it was HBO or something like that. But they were making ice dildos.
What?
And I was like, how is that a thing? Like, there's so
How
much.
is that even
Nobody's seen
comfortable?
a Christmas Story and what happens when you put warm flesh against ice. I was like, this seems like a terrible plan. And then, of course, I was like, is this really a thing? And it is a thing. Just FYI, it is. So
I have to
anyway.
Google this one in private. Yeah, someday.
just so everybody knows, I went down that particular rabbit hole. If I was going to do that, I'd have to have so different computer that I only touch
Right.
those items.
This is like,
Search history would be terrible. Okay, so you wrote about an open marriage and having lots of sex. How was that for you, writing sex scenes?
it was terrifying. I had to have like 3 drinks in me before I could actually do it. And I would like write it once and then walk away from it. I didn't ever want to have to edit it. I didn't want to have to go back. Like that is like jumping off of a cliff and you're like, I'm just gonna have fun with this. Then when it's over, you're like, it's done, right? I never have to look at that again.
You have
I just
children.
assume people
You've
that
had
do that
sex
just write off
before,
of experience.
I'm sorry, what did you say, Charles?
I said, I just assume that people that do that are just writing about experience, like their experiences.
My husband just walked into the room.
Oh,
Okay, we'll stop talking about that then.
No, it's fine. He's walking out. No, so
Well, I was gonna say you've had children, so you've had sex before. So
it's no lie. There's two of them. At least twice. I've done it at least twice.
So
I've had that much experience.
good start.
It's a good start. We're good. Like, I mean, right? Like, yes. I that was the other thing that I really wanted to write was like real sex, not like 50 Shades of Grey. He did this and my blah blah. And I'm like, really? That's whatever. The rest of all of these girls have just now got some sort of convoluted picture of unreality. Like, let's talk about sex for real, like how it should be. What's gonna go like the
wow, you
everything,
salt and peppered that shit. I see how that went. That was the salt and pepper move. We just did that there. I love that.
Yes.
I love that you're getting embarrassed though about writing about sex.
Oh, still to this day, completely mortified. I hardly tell people because when everyone asks like, what's your book about? I will say a million other things, but I will never tell them it's about open marriage and I will never tell them it's about sex. And yet my girlfriend read it and she's like, honey, I did not expect the softcore porn. And I was like, well, because I didn't tell you it was coming. But
Why do you feel that you shouldn't tell people about it though?
I don't know. Because at the end of the day, you still get the like, how could you? Like,
Yeah, but then they immediately go home and buy it.
From who do you get the how could you?
oh, yeah, okay. So I'm from Fargo for reals. Like, I come from very, very conservative family.
Okay.
There,
Do they know you wrote a book?
So I definitely got a lot of backlash from this for a while. That's probably part of the reason too, is like it is what it is at this point in my life. But
Well, I think they know you've had sex.
yeah,
At least twice.
at least twice. Yeah. But this, yeah, I mean, you just have to read it, to be honest. Like, I can't say much beyond like there is some scenes in there and there's some fun stuff and like, but it's not all good. Like there's bad, there's good, there's everything in between. There's what happens to women who walk into situations that they don't want to walk into, and that there's the bad side of it, but then there's the good side of it. There's the sexy, there's the like, it has it all. Like, be prepared to just like, that was my goal.
All right.
I wanted people to just be completely shocked.
Okay.
But then I'm still like shocked myself. I'm still like, I'm not gonna lie, like I'm sweating up in here. Some spots I'm like, just talking about this makes me, I don't know.
Okay.
Horrible, not gonna lie.
Right? So
Kels,
that's me.
apparently we need to
All
stop
right.
talking about sex. What is your next question?
If you could be friends with any fictional character, who would it be? In a book.
Fictional character in a book. Oh, Anne of Green Gables. I loved her. When I was growing up, she was like my favorite person in the whole wide world. I like, if that would have been my best friend when I was growing up, I would have had like bosom buddy. Like, I just, as a child, reading that made me feel normal and I just loved her.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Well, what do you think your biggest, like, where do you get writer's block ever? Do you ever run into like
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. There are times where I'm like, just no, it's not happening. Like, I can't even create a line. And so I'm an athlete too, so I do triathlon. when I cannot write, that's when I'm like, okay, I can't write. And then I put it away because it's not happening, you know, and then I just go to all of my other things. And then I'm like, all right, I know it's coming back. You know, I've lived enough life now to know that it's not like forever gone, but I accept that when it's not happening, it's like, yeah, don't force it, because there is nothing worse than whatever I create when I have writer's block. I'll be like, the tree is green. Like, good job. You wrote. No, don't do it. Don't even try.
Oh my God, that's hysterical. Okay, Chels.
If you had to live the fictional life of any character in a book, who would it be?
Ooh.
You can't change anything. It has to go exactly according to it.
Exactly according to it. Ooh. Oh man. I just read Under the Magnolias by have you guys read Under the Magnolia?
Mm-mm.
Okay, this is like a new book, and I think it's T.I. Stowe, and I might be completely not right there because I literally just finished reading it. She wrote a moving story, and her main character was badass, and she endured some cool shit and came out the other end, and like, it's gorgeous and it's beautiful and it's yummy, and it's a story that like has everything. It's got madness and crazy and fighting through and young love, and the guy who like sticks by your side through it all, so that she like finishes her life being a girl on a tobacco farm and having a crazy dad and like family and kids, and then she gets to like marry the mayor's daughter or mayor's son at the end of it all, who's like a, you know, wealthy man who's got lots of money and like saves her, right? Like she endures hell, but then she gets to like walk into comfort at the end of it all and have the perfect marriage and the perfect life. And then she's also like a creative and an intellectual. I would totally like, if I could do that, if I could have lived that life, yes. I loved that book.
I see that. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. All right, your turn, Erica.
I know. I'm using my brain on all powers. When you read, do you like to read on a Kindle or an ebook or a paper book?
Ooh, okay. I love holding a real book. I love just taking pages and going like this and smelling them. In my ideal world, it would all be of physical books. That's my favorite thing in the world. I love to touch them. I love the feel of the covers, but I am a realist, right? I travel a lot and I cannot bring all of my books with me. So a Kindle, when it first came out, I was like, no, I hate this thing. It's so wrong. I have since, like, every book I've read lately is on a Kindle. Like it just is. And you know, and it's fine. Makes me happy.
Do
Gets
you
the
read
job done.
reviews? That's my next question for you. Do you read reviews?
I do read reviews, but I also take them with a gigantic grain of salt. Like,
That's smart.
every human being is coming at this work with their own personal universe of experience. They will connect with it or they will not connect with it, and their opinion of it is literally just that it's their specific opinion. It means nothing to me because I'm not them. You know,
True.
yeah, it's good. They're great, and I like to see them, but I don't. You can't put the full measure of anything into a review.
No, that makes sense.
agree.
Do you write reviews?
I do. Oh my God. Yes, I write reviews because
Okay.
we live and breathe by them. Readers want to see the reviews. It's the most important thing. That is how we sell books, is by reviews. Like it's this crazy world where that's all that matters right now, right? Is reviews. But
Drew, do you leave a review whether you liked it or not?
I do. Usually I will still leave a review, and like, I am a cheerleader at heart. Like, I am never gonna say mean things. I'm always gonna like find the positive. So that's my operating standpoint. Like, I always want to say nice things and I always want to make people feel good about themselves. So every review that I'm gonna leave is gonna find and cherry pick the best, because I hate feeling like crap. I don't like it when people do it to me. So I don't want to ever do it to someone else either. Like, there's bad in everything.
will you finish every book that you start?
No. I finished a lot, but like I read Chronology of Water over 6 months. I just kept picking it up and putting it down and picking it up and putting it down. And like certain books they don't catch my brain until all of a sudden whatever I'm going through in my day to day makes me read it and see all of the things that I wanted to see in it, you know? Like I find books at the moment where I need them. They're like my best friend, and they walk me through like a couple days when I needed that. So yeah, like sometimes I'll finish a book years later. Sometimes I won't. It's totally different.
Well, that makes sense. What will make you throw a book down more than anything else?
Oh man, crappy writing. Like just being completely like 50 Shades of Grey when something is just awful and you're like, this would never happen. This is not believable. The dialogue, like when something is just so
Painful.
stupid. Yes. Yeah. And yeah, I'm not like, yeah, I don't even get into grotesque. I mean, I haven't read anything of that nature. I always want to see connection, human connection, emotion, real. I love transparency, authenticity. I want to see people being genuine. And if I don't see that, like if there's no human connection happening in a story, you've lost me, you know?
Did you just get just vodka there, Chels?
It's the green tea.
She got no green tea.
Forgot to
just vodka.
stir.
Oh.
And I can like feel it in my nose. I'm good.
I appreciate that. Now that you're breathing, inhaling vodka, which is not a good thing to do by any stretch of the imagination, you should ask our final question, my friend.
Okay. If you could be any supernatural creature, what would you be?
Okay. Well, if I could be like a unicorn that swims underwater, that would be really cool.
Like a unicorn mermaid?
Yeah.
Or like can go on land and in water?
I want both because I really want to go explore the depths of the ocean more than anything, right? Like who doesn't want to go see what is down there? That shit's like deep and crazy and insane, like a whole nother world that we don't know. But I don't want to be stuck down there. Like I want both. Like I want to see it all. And yeah, a mermaid would be super cool, but I still think like a unicorn has it's a unicorn, right? Like who doesn't want to be a unicorn? A unicorn mermaid.
I
like it.
It's every cheerleader's dream to be a unicorn.
Yes. Oh my God. Can you name this podcast that it's every cheerleader's dream to be a unicorn mermaid?
I think we can.
I like it.
I think I should. I'm telling you, some unique quotes come out of this podcast. Very unique
You
quotes.
really do.
You have
like
been
it.
an amazing guest, Marie. Thank you so much for being on the podcast.
This
How
has
do
been a
people
blast.
find your book?
Okay, so you can find it on Amazon. You can find it on IndieBound and Barnes and Noble. I have a website. It's called Marie's World of Writing. And if you go to that, there is a purchasing option and it has all of the links that you can find my book there. Right now, I am all internet. You can find me on Instagram, Marie's World of Writing. If you find me there, you will also find the links in my, that link tree thing to purchase as well.
That's the drink thing. You can
So
tell
big
people have been drinking on this podcast.
I love it by the end of it. I love it in the end of it because when you go back and you like watch some of these, you can see we start out solid. We have our stuff together. And then by the end of it, we're like, you know that freaking thing? It's like in the sky and like makes everything warm. What is that? It's pretty great.
Yeah, I don't know what that is right now. Okay, so I have to do a shout out to our sponsors, Skunk Brother. I don't know why I do this at the end of the podcast. I should tell them I'm not doing it at the end of the podcast. I think they do that on purpose so that I sound like an idiot. So Skunk Brothers
excited.
Spirits is our sponsor. If you go on their website, use coupon code DWA10, you can get some of this sweet 45 cherry cordial, or my favorite blueberry cinnamon, which I'm out of, which I have to get more of, and many, many other spirits. So I have been your host today, barely, because I'm kind of not remembering my name that suddenly snuck up on me. Erica Lance. My co-host has been the amazing C.R. Rice, who's inhaling vodka is a thing now. And our guest has been Marie Wishert. And we will see you all next time.